So hi guys, have you guys seen the K-drama When Life Gives You Tangerines? If you haven't, go back, look it up and have a look, and maybe prepare like boxes of tissues on the side. It's one of those films that really shows the reality of motherhood, and it's not really the Instagrammable kind that you see influencers often show on Instagram. It's really raw, emotional, and like really complex drama. And it dives into how parents, especially in the Asian family, give everything they have for their children, and yet from the children's point of view is always never enough. And today we are joined by our colleague Joyce, who is currently 6 months pregnant, to talk about what it's really like from the first trimester to body changes to emotional roller coasters of balancing between career and motherhood. This one's for all the moms and moms to be and the daughters who are starting to understand what their own mothers went through. And today we will be talking about how motherhood is not black and white and how motherhood is actually a lot. Right, so Joyce, how did you feel when you find out that you were pregnant?
Well, honestly, I was actually very calm in the sense of, I think it's more like I was telling myself actively to be calm. Kind of like not letting myself feel the joy or happiness. Because I feel that getting pregnant is always just the beginning of things, it's more than just seeing 2 lines on the stick. It is, for me, it's more like I told myself to take things one step at a time, okay fine, I saw 2 lines on the stick. What I did next was I went and take another 3 test kits to test, to check whether is it real or am I seeing
the triple assurance.
Yeah, because I remember it was like maybe at 8 a.m. in the morning. So I was like, okay, why not let me just test today, because I don't know, I feel something is off. Then when I saw it, I was like, okay, 2 lines. Then I saw, 2 lines. Then I'm like, okay, let's take a picture. Then that's it. So I feel like for me it was more of me telling myself to take one thing at a time, and also kind of guarding my heart to not let myself getting too much, feeling too much, too overjoyed, because I also know that this is just the beginning of everything, and I still need to pass a lot of hurdles. For example, hearing the baby's first heartbeat, whether or not would I even be able to make it there, that's a question mark to me. Yeah.
Like, were you excited when you went for checkups already, right? How did you feel about that also?
I wasn't excited. It was like I was more nervous most of the time, whether or not the baby is okay, because especially in the first trimester you actually don't know what's going on, and it's too early to say anything. And I remember I even asked the doctor like, what are the chances of miscarriage at this point? The doctor's reply, of course, is always 50-50. So it's only when I made it through, I think maybe 13-14 weeks, then I was like, oh, okay. Then I let myself feel a little bit more happy. I started telling people around me. But that's it. I mean, even my own team, like you guys probably only knew at like, I don't know, 16, 17 weeks. So that's how quiet I made this journey to me, because I feel that it's really just guarding myself and just making sure that everything will be okay before I let everyone around me be happy also.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I can understand that. So how has your relationship with your body changed after becoming pregnant?
It has changed a lot. To put it simply, I'm the kind of person that I actually jaga my body a lot, in the sense of my confidence also comes from a lot from how I look. Okay, how I look in the sense of not in the vain kind of sense, but it's more of I like to wear pretty dresses. I like to wear pretty clothing. I like to look pretty, and being pregnant then also means that there are a lot of my clothes that I could not wear, and if I were to look back at my wardrobe, actually most of my wardrobe, I buy very tight-fitted clothing in the sense of I cannot even gain 1 cm kind of clothing. So most of my jeans, my pants, my dresses are actually made out of that. And it's also because I know my body very well. So I also know what kind of clothes I can fit well, what kind of clothes I can't. And most of my wardrobe then is made up of clothing that I know will look good on me. But what happens is, I remember it was just maybe 7 or 8 weeks where I'm not even showing whatnot, but I couldn't buckle up my pants. Yeah, so it was quite difficult to allow myself to adjust to those changes. And now being 6 months in or so, most of the time I just, actually to be honest, most of the time I don't want to look at the mirror at the start. Now I'm embracing it, I'm being happy, but it took me a very long time to also, for example, for my bras, I usually wear, let's say, size M. Now I have to go up to a size L, for example. So everything it's up one size. Even my clothing, I was an XS, now I need to wear S or M, that kind of thing. So it is not easy for me, especially when I'm a person who really jaga my makan and really work out quite a lot to ensure that I still look in shape. And I always wanted to look in shape even when I was pregnant, but the cravings just cannot allow me to
cannot be controlled.
Yeah. So the support around me then is very important, because at the end of the day I need to understand also my body is growing because it's carrying a life. It's not just about, and life is also a lot more than just how you look, it's also confidence can come from a lot of ways. It's not just every day, you have to look this thin in order to feel confident. Confidence can come in a lot of ways, and that is something that I would say that going through this journey is easier said than done, because every day you stand on the weighing scale, you can see, hey, I have gained 0.5 kg again today.
Yeah.
So I guess when the weight changes is so drastic, it also takes a lot of adjusting to get through that. Yeah.
Well, okay, so what has been the most surprising thing of pregnancy so far?
Nothing.
I
am pretty much a planner in most cases.
Oh.
I plan everything. So in the case of this pregnancy, even though it came quite as a surprise, but we have been planning to get pregnant last year. I just don't know when. But so when it came, it did come as a surprise. But I believe that I have done all my research. I was also mentally prepared for it. So yeah, nothing really much came as a surprise. It was more like the surprise most probably came after, whereby the hormonal changes and all. The cravings that I didn't expect to have. I'm a person who eats very little. Suddenly I eat like triple my portion, that kind of thing. So that kind of thing came as a surprise. But other than that, I would say that it's pretty much what I have planned out and what I have mentally prepped myself for.
Okay, so you say you are like plan and expecting the pregnancy, right? So is there anything that like actually caught you off guard? Apart from the cravings and like seeing your weighing scale extra 0.5 kilo on a daily basis?
For me, I would believe it's more of the emotional side of things that caught me off guard. I actually cried a lot. I have been crying a lot. And I'm like, why am I crying? Suddenly I listen to a song, I cry. I remember I get angry very easily. I get angry very easily. So it's like I don't know, somebody said something also, I'm like, yeah, I'll probably give the death stare, like, what are you talking about? And I'm usually quite a patient person. I'm not chill, but I'm very patient. But nowadays I just feel like and my husband usually blames it on the hormones. Because I remember I was just crying 2 nights ago. Suddenly I was like, don't go out, you just sit here with me. Yeah, I just crying. But I felt better after crying. But I think that is kind of like what's unexpected. And another thing that unexpected is also I'm very scared. Being a planner and scared doesn't really go hand in hand in this case. But I'm actually very scared. I'm very scared not only of the changes that's about to come, but I'm also very worried and scared most of the time about how priorities change. And believe or not, priorities have already changed quite a bit. You know, I used to I mean, I love my work, you know. I love my work. I love what we are doing most of the time. I feel that we work, it's not just for work, we work for a purpose. We are educating women, we are actually doing something for the brand, and we're doing something for women in general. So I love what I do. But after being pregnant and being 6 months in and really just a very short way to go, I also find myself very scared about what happens when I'm not here. Yeah. Am I prepping the team enough? Because you know I told you all very late as well into it. So like, am I actually prepping the team enough? Will they be okay? Will anyone leave because I'm not here? You know, these kind of things. Because I also planned it in the sense of I waited for the team to be mature enough. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's time for me to do something for myself, which is to get pregnant, which is in the pipeline already. So, but what happens then? I wouldn't know, because turns out that this year is quite a busy year. Yeah, which is something that I did not expect as well. I wanted it to be more chill, and I wanted people to just be able to do their own things. But things doesn't always turn out as expected. But that's life also. But that doesn't stop me from being scared and being worried. And like, let's say sometimes if I cannot sleep at 3 a.m, I'll wake up and say like, will anyone come in and tell me that they're leaving tomorrow? If they're leaving, what am I going to do? How many months do I have to hire someone new in order to ensure that the company keeps running? And aside from that also, I have not prepped anything else for the baby.
Because it's your like really first time, right?
Correct. So like, I'm clueless.
Really unprepared for, I mean, as in the changes and the challenges that you will not expect to come kind of thing. So I understand how difficult it can be lah.
Yeah, and most people actually, I would say that I always think like I understand, to be very honest, but after going through it, I was like, it's a lot more than what is expected. And then that's why I always say that support system is very important. You need to ensure that your family, your friends, your husband says the right thing at the right time. If they don't, sometimes I was like, this person don't know how to talk properly. Yeah, saying the right thing at the right time to provide you that kind of emotional support is very important.
Okay, something to keep in mind for me if I plan to get married and have children in the future. Okay, so what is something that you are looking forward to your motherhood journey? You don't know.
Honestly, taking one step at a time. I'm still not letting myself get too excited. For now, I'm just thinking like, let's make it to the 3rd trimester safely. And after that, let's give birth safely. But I think if you want me to really say what's most excited, of course, is how the baby will look like. Because we just found out, we just did a gender review last week, and we found out she's a girl.
Oh, congratulations!
So I'm going to be a girl mom.
Yay!
And I guess that part is very exciting in the sense that, will the baby look like the dad or me? Then I keep saying like, please look like me. That's about it.
Okay. So I'm going to switch up the question a bit. Who do you think gets to be called mom?
Who gets to be called mom?
Because for me, I call myself a mother of 2 cats. I have 2 very playful and won't sit still cats, Dero and Lulu. So I basically took them in since they were a baby. Their eyes took over when I took them in. I took them from the side of the road and I was like, okay, you know what, let's take care of this baby, see where it goes. And after that, it was 4 years later, I was still a mom to 2 cats. And I believe there are a lot of forms of mothers in this world. So what do you think about like who gets to be called mom?
I think everyone, whether, and this is kind of like a genderless thing in this sense, anyone at any age can be called a mom. I've been calling myself a mom since I was 12 years old. because I basically had dogs I had my first dog since I was 12.
Oh.
So from there on, I have always called myself, come, let mommy sayang. You know, so I have always been using the term mommy since I was 12 years old. You know, and now I am a fur mom to two fur kids in a sense, and I use the term mommy on an everyday basis. You know, come, is baby hungry? Come, mommy feed you. You know, this kind of thing. So I would say that mom is not really, you don't really have to give birth to a child to be called a mom. Your sister, your elder sister can be babying you, and she can be your mom. You know, in the workplace, they are work moms. You know, they are work moms. Mom who basically ensure that you have eaten enough in the office. Mom who nags you when you get sick. Like, Asma, why have you not taken your medicine? You know, so they are all forms of mom. Even if we have colleagues who I take care of cactuses in the office, and I would say that, you know, I'm doing my best to ensure that the plants are alive. So in that case also, I'm a plant mom. So I would say that everybody, even dad who mothers, you know, everyone gets to be a mom. It's more of a nurturing role. It's more of a loving role, and I would say that it is a very sacrificial role also, that everyone has the opportunity to be a mom to someone in their life, whether or not you have given birth or not.
Yeah, I think as long as you give yourself and care and love for something or someone, you can be considered a mom in a sense.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, what's something about motherhood you wish more people talked about?
I think in movies or in shows, it has always been shown. It always shows, like, you know, the glamorous side of things. You know, how even for example Instagram, people a lot of times they will show you things like, you know, hey, I've given birth one day, the next day I bounce back in shape, or but I feel that no one actually talks enough about the emotional struggles, and also the identity that shifts. You know, you remember earlier I mentioned, like, I was worried, I was scared. I was perhaps feeling also that I am kind of like losing a part of myself, and that's scary. Yeah, not only in terms of body changes, but also in terms of the mental side of things. Priorities shifts, identity changes. I kind of feel some part of me is no longer me, kind of like drifted away or died, kind of thing. But also, then of course, as human beings we grow. I also acknowledge that I'm growing into new parts of me. You know, I'm learning every day to be a new kind of person in order to support not only this baby but also the changes that comes with it, whether it's in work or in life or in family. Yeah, and that is definitely not something not being taught enough.
Yeah,
in the society.
I guess when it comes to like social media, especially, people choose what they want to show to the world. You know, like,
Correct.
I gave birth yesterday, and then tomorrow I'm like, hey guys, new workout routine, that kind of stuff, and then it gives you a sense of macam, oh, maybe if I give birth, maybe I can be like that.
Correct.
But I can tell how different it is because I have two sisters and two sisters-in-laws. I have 12 fruit children, anak buah. So like I have seen them going through all the phases from getting pregnant to having some miscarriages and all that. So it's like, it's really not what social media tells you how it is. It's really different because people really choose what they want to show to the world.
And takkan today I'm vomiting in the toilet bowl and
Yeah.
hey guys, you know, I'm vomiting today. You know, it doesn't. It's not that way. No, the thing about the reality of going through this journey is that no matter how tired you are, you don't actually show the outside world how tired you are. It's only after work or after a full day, whether or not you work, it's another thing. You know, we all work in some forms in our life, but it's really after that long day and you are just exhausted and you sit on the couch yourself and then everything starts sinking in and you have that alone time for yourself and you think like, have I done enough today? Yeah, and it's always that question, and it's always that the mind that doesn't stop thinking. You know, have I done enough today? Am I doing the right things? You know.
Alright, so last question. What kind of mom do you hope to be, and a message to all the forms of mothers going through everything, and the moms to be?
I feel that I'm not at that stage where, to be very frank, I'm not at
You're a
that
mother of two fur babies, so that's kind of fair.
Okay, but if I were to say that, how to say, I want to be a mom who is very aware. I think self-awareness is something that's very important in today's world. And it's also because that we are in this fast-paced social media era, that I feel that we are constantly bombarded with so many things around, and we are constantly bombarded with so many colors, pictures, whatever things to keep us occupied, that we live day by day, but we don't actually sit down and be self-aware enough. In that sense, I feel that it's very important that as a mom to be aware of my own patterns, my own habits, and to be honest, maybe some generational trauma, and how to break those patterns. Because at the end of the day, no matter how hard we try, we as human beings, or we as first-time moms, or even second-time moms, we do make mistakes. We are not perfect, and we need to know that that's okay. It's okay to actually make mistakes, and but it is important to identify what we have done wrong or what we could have done better, and learn from that. Because I feel that by being self-aware, it also means that we can constantly learn and unlearn bad habits and learn new good habits. Because at the end of the day, we all do want the best for our child, and we would always try our best for our child, and not forgetting also to not lose ourselves in the process, and always practice enough self-love and care, and to ensure that we do have enough time for us in order to show up better for others.
Okay, so I guess that's it for today's episode. Since Mother's Day is around the corner, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers celebrating. And keep it up, moms, you're all real superheroes. Bye!